Hi, welcome to the Plastickat podcast.
Woo! The greatest podcast ever.
Starring us.
Starring a butt and a booger face.
Which one am I?
You're the butt. You have butts for icon.
Butt's poop. I do have a butt for an icon. I keep forgetting that.
You have an anime girl butt. Which I think is that one character from that one show with the giant monster robots.
Ava.
Ava.
Fun fact.
Huh?
I've never seen Ava.
I've seen it like once when I was like 14 and it fucked me up. I think I saw a bootleg copy of that one scene where Shinji like nuts on that girl in her sleep.
Oh, yeah. Or he masturbates on her or something.
Well, masturbates to completion, as one person said. That was gross. Remember, don't do that, people. That's bad.
That whole show was about his issues or something.
Well, that's the thing. Each show was sort of about issues. Like the first one is Shinji coming to terms with his depression and climbing out of it and failing to become a person who can survive and become a human being. The next one was basically, I think, the movie was basically him progressing and basically portraying more of what his horrible audience was. Basically a bunch of man children that all they wanted was some wish fulfillment fantasy.
I think that's what it is. It's supposed to be, they call it the rebuild, and I guess he's supposed to be fixing it. The creator, Hideaki Anno, he had some kind of mental breakdown while working on the series.
Yeah.
And he was in therapy sessions when it finished up, isn't that what it was?
I think so. Of course, I would have to ask the man himself.
And that's why the ending is the way it is, because he went through therapy before finishing it.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. I've never seen it.
Maybe we'll do like a memorial, like a charity, a stream where we'll just watch it. And it'll be just us sitting there on the couch watching it.
I'll have to do that.
Yeah, like, oh, Shinji just did the thing, and that lady did the thing. Oh, Shinji just did one robot.
I'm sorry. My cat just sneezed a bunch and then ate all her own boogers.
my cat does that. Oh, he doesn't sneeze. He just does weird shit.
That's what cats do.
My mom doesn't believe that every cat we've ever had is a weird little bastard, but of course all cats are weird little bastards. There's no parameter for a normal cat because I've never met one.
See, I was always a dog person. This is like my first cat.
I've never.
It's just like everything the cats do, all the decisions they make is weird.
They're like chaotic alignment characters.
They are.
You know, because there's some kind of sense a dog makes, but with cats they just go with whatever works. It's like, do I want to do this now, or do I want to do this now? Do I want to pee on the rug, or do I want to bite the person in the foot?
And dogs are cooperative.
Yeah.
They like, yeah, they are. No, they're fucking not. You're just mad because you can't communicate with dogs because you're a cat person.
Oh, it's a sitcom. You and Cece are a sitcom.
We are sitcom.
Yep. What happens when a cat person and a dog person move in?
Woo!
I need to do a Kickstarter where you guys are in a sitcom and you're both wearing fursuits. You're wearing a dog fursuit and she's wearing a cat fursuit.
Oh, you do like... You'll never get her in a fursuit.
Well, it's not going to be one of those like full ones. It's just going to be like, you know those Easter rabbit costumes where it's just the face popping out of like a weird set of pajamas?
Oh, yeah. Maybe. That's maybe.
You know, I had a dream that I wanted to do a movie about it, where it was just this entire dream was a conversation between two people, and there was just a furry standing in the room, just in a fursuit, and they never acknowledged it.
That's like...
It's just, I have dreams where it's just, there's something staying in the room, and no one ever acknowledges it. It was like one of those big fursuits, and they were just staying there, just staring at them.
Like the way too complicated, involved, complex fursuits?
I don't know, it depends. I don't really remember. I remember it was a fursuit, so it was either one of the complex ones, or it was one of those ones that people just throw together.
Like a weird onesie.
Yeah. Anyway, welcome to the podcast, where we ramble on about any old thing that's happening.
Woo! Like Plastickat. Speaking of rambling on, me and Cece are moving out of this dumb little apartment and into a new house.
Woo!
Woo! And you put in a little audio bite. Celebrate good times. Come on!
Yeah, I'll have to do that. I was looking, actually, it's really annoying. I was looking for all the Ren and Stimpy songs that they've used in the show.
Oh, yeah?
It's so hard because I don't remember any of the names of them.
I don't know any of the names of them either. I wouldn't even know how to begin. I don't know how people did stuff like that, found those songs before Google.
Well, the thing is that I think, John Plusky knew all the names of those songs. I'm pretty sure he could ramble them all off for me. Like, hey, John Plusky, can you tell me all the names of the song you used in Ren and Stimpy?
He always talks about, like, oh, that show was so many odd years ago, but on his blog, he always remembered, like, ridiculous stuff from the show.
I think he has some sort of some weird thing where he can remember everything and recall it perfectly, which has got to be torturous for the poor man because he hated working on that show. The man is crazy.
Well, the version that he got to make that was the version he always wanted to make, the adult party cartoon, was awful.
Well, the problem was that the one he wanted to make eventually became the one that Spike wanted him to make because they asked him to keep on putting more and more lewd and really gross stuff in there to the point where he actually, to the point where it became grosser than he could ever want it to be.
And it was just kind of dumb.
Yeah, well, the thing was, I think it was that he wanted to make a more gross and weird one, but then Spike actually encouraged him to put so much gross, weird stuff into it to the point where it ruined the timing. So to the point where he says that, yeah, a lot of the even really gross stuff wasn't my idea, it was actually Spike's. Or I came up with it drunk or something.
That was one of the first, that was like one of the flagship shows of the network. Like, that was when it just started. Because I remember I got really excited for it.
Yeah, I remember, except my mom wouldn't, my mom wouldn't let me watch Ren and Stimpy as a kid, so I had to watch on the sly. So, when she heard about the adult one, she was like, you are not gonna watch that.
Oh.
Even though it was weird. Here's the weird thing. She wouldn't let me watch Ren and Stimpy, and yet when I was 5 years old, she let me watch, Heavy Metal.
That is weird.
My mom's an odd person. I'm thinking, well, Heavy Metal was full of sex and violence and drugs.
And titties.
Yeah, and titties. And things like that. And yet, she wouldn't let me watch Ren and Stimpy.
So speaking of violent, sexy movies, how did you like Captain America?
Oh, I loved it. I really liked it.
Have you seen all the Marvel?
Yeah, I've seen them all. I kept on thinking the entire week that maybe I should watch them all back to back before doing this podcast.
That was a thought. We went back and watched Avengers recently because we hadn't seen it since it come out.
Yeah, me neither. I've watched Captain America, the first movie, more often than that. Because I liked it the most.
Which one?
Captain America.
The first one, the first Avenger?
Yeah, the first Avenger.
See, I liked that one. I think my favorite of the original batch was probably, it was the first Iron Man, but I saw it a million times.
My mom's done that.
And now I'm like, it's still cool, but I'm like, eh.
You know what's funny? There are some people that can't watch it anymore because now they have an HD TV and HD release of it. And so Iron Man kind of looks like an action figure in it.
Oh.
It's like, oh, the effects now kind of look a bit kanky.
Well, I was about to say, too, like, it wasn't that long ago, but I think it was like 6 years ago.
It was back in 2008, man.
That was quite a while ago. Goddamn.
Shit, fuck. It's kind of like the fact that now the Dreamcast, not the Dreamcast, the GameCube's a classic console.
Yeah, that was the thing.
That fucked me up.
I never even had a GameCube, but I still think of it in terms of, I still remember, like, PlayStation, my PS2, I still think of that as a new console in my head.
Well, the first console I had was a GameCube, and then I got a PlayStation 2 nearing the end of nearing the end of its last cycle.
Oh.
And then, like, I had it, and I was still buying games for it when the PlayStation 3 came out, and I never bought that because I'm broke, and I don't have a job. I don't know, but we're talking about Marvel movies.
Marvel movies.
Actually, I heard someone say that they think that Captain America, Chris Hemsworth and the character of Captain America, makes a better Superman than the Superman movie that came out recently.
Yeah.
Because that's what I want. Yeah.
I am still hyped for Superman versus Batman, but that's just on principle.
I don't know, like, I'm kind of like, I'll rent it, I don't know. You can't hype me with like, yeah, it's gonna be Batman and Superman fighting.
You can't. That is the easiest way to hype me.
I don't know, I'm kind of a jerk. I'm kind of a jerk, like, unless you get me like, so Batman and Superman are gonna be fighting? Are they gonna, like, fight a dragon? Or are they gonna have, like, a slumber party or something interesting? No? Okay. Like, unless they say something really weird about the movie, like that, okay, at some point, Batman and Superman suddenly end up in a Candyland.
Sweet.
I'd be like, okay, I'll go and see that.
And I want to see them start doing more weird comic booky adventures and not have to do the grounded version of Batman and Superman. Because they're the easiest characters to make in the movies.
That's the thing that's weird. It's like they're the easiest characters to make in the movies because, with the Marvel characters, you have to develop them all the hell with gone. And they have all this mythos, but Batman and Superman, they're archetypal characters. Like, Batman's like a rich guy who's like a detective in a bat suit who fights crime, and Superman's like a super dude from space.
That's the reason that I think I like, because I like DC Comics more than Marvel Comics, but the Marvel movies have just been killing DC.
Well, that's because they at least have someone that can make sense and create a mythos on screen, and actually know how to adapt them in such a way that is both true to the characters as a comic, but also a way that's good for the screen. While DC's like, we don't even have our animated shows anymore, man.
And DC characters work in comics because they're icons, and you can do the crazy hype stories that are just weird or crazy. But then the Marvel characters, they go to really weird places too.
Well, like the Doom Patrol. Oh no, that's DC.
Yeah.
Well, DC and Marvel, they both have sort of weird, sort of counterparts to each other.
So, like Doom Patrol and X-Men.
Yeah, Doom Patrol and X-Men. They're kind of like they were weird siblings.
And X-Men is like, even comparatively, like X-Men is kind of grounded.
Yeah.
In a weird way. And what it's about, and Doom Patrol is just weird.
Well, like, one person I heard sort of made the distinction that Marvel is sort of more grounded and humanistic in the stories, while DC in a lot of ways is more cosmic and sort of, larger.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird because then I kind of think that it's like near one, DC's not really playing to its strengths where it has this wide, weird universe of weird shit, and isn't really, like, say, you have Superman who can fly through space, you have the New Gods and all this kind of weird shit. And yet they're trying to make it realistic and gritty.
Which is like the opposite of what you need to do with those characters.
Like, I don't want to see a gritty Superman unless it's a well-written one-shot, I don't want to see that. Like, if it's a one-shot, sure, maybe I'll give it a try, but when it's the main universe, no.
No, you want to see loony, cuckoo, cosmic adventures.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. I want to see Superman fly through space, make some friends with aliens.
Or you just want to see him pose with his chin up in the air, like do all heroic, right? But you don't need like a bunch of pathos for Superman.
Well, Superman for a character, he's just a dork who's a super scout. He's a super Boy Scout who saves the day. Who happens to be an awkward alien too.
Which is why Superboy is so interesting. Whoops! Found Gunterman. Gunterman just updated his DA.
Oh my God! Really?
There's a fursuiter in the Johnny Briz comic.
Oh my God! You have to link it.
Confirmed.
Gunterman, damn you! Oh my God, I have to look at. Can you? Oh.
Dun 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 dun! Gunterman strikes again.
I want Gunterman to be in the DC comics.
I want him to be a Batman rogues gallery.
Cause he looks like it. He sounds like he's. Oh my God, it's even weirder than I thought. Where with those? Wait, what's with the perspective on like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th panel? Johnny Briz looks bigger than those girls.
He does.
That fursuit doesn't have a head. She's just wearing a skunk tail.
Oh, it's on the next page.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll go find it. We interrupt Superman for a discussion about David Gunterman.
David Gunterman is a running theme of this podcast.
He should be a running theme in all podcasts. Oh my God. Food fursuits. Oh my God, Batman, he stole a Google background.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a photo. He just drew on you a photo. I'm sorry. David Gunterman, that's naughty. Also it's a bunch of kids who are stalking the mouse now.
Because he's a fun cartoon character.
I still can't wrap around my head on the logic of Johnny Briz.
See, he's a real, living cartoon character that is real and alive.
Which it's kind of like it's like he took the Roger Rabbit story and then abstracted it through a weird man's head. It's like I don't get it.
Would you say that it's bonkers? I didn't make that joke last time, did I?
No, I don't remember it.
Still funny.
Well, bad puns are always funny.
Bonkers.
Yeah. David Gunterman, he's special. He has a very lengthy TV tropes page.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I kind of have a love-hate relationship with TV tropes. I even like the weird, stupid shit they do.
Like what?
Okay, when I first got in there a couple of years ago, they would have lengthy pages all about weird, they had an entire section called the Fetish Fuel section.
Oh yeah.
And, of course, eventually they just went, we're gonna nix that and make it its own wiki. Cause we can't.
No way.
Yeah, they did. They made its own wiki. Just sent. They had an entire lengthy, like, several thousand entry for Family Guy. Okay, let's see what David Gunterman says about him. Like he has if you don't have a page on, if you're having a thing dedicated to weirdos, you have to have him on there.
Definitely.
If you're talking about, like, say if you did a weird internet show about internet weirdos, like, David Gunterman gives you enough, like, he's been on the internet since I was, like, born.
You know what I want? A crossover project with David Gunterman and Tom Preston.
Oh my god.
Tom Preston, it's true. You are a better artist than one other internet webcomic artist.
Well,
way to go, you did it.
I know, but I kind of respect David Gunterman more because his shit's kind of weird and abstract. And it's always doing something to entertain me, like, well, you could say his shit's kind of creative because there's just weird shit constantly happening. Well, with Mr. Tom Preston, it's kind of like, I'm a cartoonist. I don't know, Tom Preston, it's kind of weird. It's kind of like he's not as weird and entertaining as David Gunterman.
Yeah. I guess he's more boring, and his stuff is more just like David Gunterman's stuff is stupid in a way that's like how does a human being like process information
like this?
Like this. And then Tom Preston's stuff is stupid in the way that it's all like, how lazy do you have to be?
Well, I think it's more like the personality that happened with Tom Preston, as he was such a whiny little baby. Like he was a squealing man-child. I think that's like, because David Gunterman's kind of a mix of both, but he's a weird man-child, while Tom Preston is that even if you just said one not nice thing about him, he would cry for a week.
Or he'd make a crybaby comic about it.
Damn you! Like he's the type of guy that if you did something something to him in grade school, you would remember it. Aren't we supposed to be talking about Captain America?
Are we?
I thought we were.
What else was in our notes too?
Oh shit! I gotta find my notes. Oh fuck! They're not near my desk. 1 second. Filler, Sparky.
Dum dum dum, Filler Sparky.
God damn it! Where's my notes? Oh, what? Oh, I think I found them. Oh, fuck. Shit.
But I'm not doing very good filler. Hold on, I'll do some filler.
Okay.
Why do you build me up, Buttercup baby, just to let me down and mess me around? And then worst of all, you never call baby when you say you will. And it's true. I don't remember or how's it? It's true. I need you more than anyone, baby. Know that I have from the start. Why do you build me up and break my heart? Every panty in the audience is wet. Even the guy panties.
Well, okay, I found my notes. Found them.
Sweet.
Okay. Okay, let's see what my notes say. Do you have notes, Sparky?
No.
Okay, let me see. Comic movies. What makes them work? Reactionary darkness and why it has its balls.
We did talk about why comic book movies work and don't work. Did we talk in full length? I think because the thing with the Marvel movies that I think makes them work so good is, I think because we talk about DC's weird storylines versus Marvel's grounded storylines. But if you compare the movies, it's the complete opposite.
Yeah.
And I think it's because DC almost acts like they're embarrassed by how weird comics are.
Yeah, that's such a strange idea. It's like, we don't do anything weird. We're not childish. We're not man-children.
And if they do try to acknowledge it, they make it a joke. But nothing in the Marvel movies, like there are jokes in there, but the aspects that make the heroes and the storylines work are not treated as jokes.
Yeah, that's sort of the strange thing.
Which is why one of my favorite Batman shows, I think I like it as much, possibly even a little bit more than the animated series that everyone loves, is Brave and the Bold.
Oh, I love that one.
Because it feels like comics.
Speaking of comics, technically I'm going to be the comic guy for the site that George is working on, my Uncle George.
What do comic reviews or what?
I'm going to be blogging, like the sort of three things I'm going to be doing is comics, cartoons, and cryptozoology, and like occult and horror.
Cool.
So, like, I'll be, like, doing, like, what I think works in comics. Mainly, I'm gonna be talking about how what I know about comics and what I like about comics, like, say, what sort of paneling and things like that I like about it, and what I kind of want to see more, and say, like, what would get me to read DC Comics and Marvel Comics. Like, say,
More boobs?
Huh?
More boobs?
Well, intelligent boobs.
Okay.
Well,
yes! Attack of the super smart boobies!
well, like, I want more creative storylines as opposed to, like, you're trying to squeeze as much pathos out of an overly recycled story. Why don't you do something different?
Or trying to latch onto a cool gimmick.
Or cool. Oh god, yeah. Like, dude, it's like, you have an entire universe full of super people and aliens and shit. You can do all sorts of shit. Like,
but it just has to be like, oh, it's like however many different storylines they have with zombies. Like, oh, a zombie at his day job. You know what I mean? Like, no, I think we can move on. If you don't really have anything interesting to add, then don't try to do a zombie story for no reason.
Well, like, I have an idea for one, except they're not really regular zombies. They're more like people that can't die and are begging for death.
Whatever happened to Zombie Boy?
I looked at Zombie Boy and his crew I need to kind of review that story and rewrite it, because I really am embarrassed by it. Because the way it eventually turned into something hot topic-y.
Oh.
Like, the name is so stupid. You want to know the name from a story he was from?
What?
The Nihilist Gang. It's like one of those things you find in a shoebox, and it's like, I'm just gonna bury this. I don't need to look at this. Like, you ever find, like, a note on your like, a really old note on some ideas, and it's like...
What was I thinking?
Huh?
What was I thinking?
Yeah. Like, you just kind of want to go back in time and smack yourself.
Well, back in my early days on the internet, I was one of the first, well, I don't want to say one of the first, but I was one of the people that very early on was all like, oh, fuck all this LOL random comedy bullshit. But then when you look at my early humor comics, it's not like waffles and cheese, but it's still just random humor. Like I used to have a character that would just be background filler, and his name was Cowboy the Gay Bunny. And his only purpose was there to just be Cowboy the Gay Bunny. Look, I found the zombie boy that I drew.
Oh, I remember that was cool.
This is one of my first commissions.
Yeah, from me.
From you. I kind of want to redraw it.
Yeah, you can't. Well, I could pay you to redraw it.
I'll redraw it for free.
Okay.
Eventually, whenever I get time.
I was so pleased with this. It's still pretty nice, but I need to, like, I'm looking through a lot of my old stories and rethinking them, so I can have, like, a backlog of stories to work on.
I'm looking at my old art, and wow, did I try really hard to not be anime.
Like, I'm not anime, I'm not influenced by it. Well, you're influenced by whatever you're influenced by, you just have to mold it and shape it and breed it with other things.
It's true.
That's the thing. That's how, people work too hard to say, I want an original style, how do I get one? Just keep drawing and intake as much stuff as you can.
With my old work, the thing that's, I mean, I like, it sounds arrogant to say this, but I think I had like one of the more unique styles of the people who go through that age range. But I don't think it was on purpose. Because there's two different types of people, right? There's people that have, when they're first starting out on DeviantArt, they're trying really hard to be old school cartoony. And I don't know why. They annoy me more than the weeaboos.
Well, the weeaboos are just sort of like, they exist and they're kind of funny, but at least most of them don't have that sort of arrogance.
The old school cartoony people also have the same idea every time. Their character is a character who's trying to bring back old school cartoons.
There seems to be sort of two people that work in that sort of style. The ones that are sort of just moderate and, not annoying. Like, technically I can follow that style. And then you get the motherfuckers that are just like, everything's shit.
Exactly.
Like, well, that means your shit's shit. Like, I'm fine with people who are like, one of my favorite cartoonists is this guy called Al Crumba, I think.
Al Crumba?
Yeah, he did a comic called The Biologist Show, where it was basically all done sort of like heavy inked lines, looking very much like a rubber hose sort of style animation with lots of sort of like turn of the century illustration too. And it was just all this weird fucked up art where like this incestuous twins that get put through like a meat grinder. A clown gets killed by his own doppelganger from a mirror. And there's like this forest full of like, roaming brains and things like that.
See, that sounds really cool.
That's the thing. The problem with all these sort of like, I'm going to bring back classic cartooning is that, well, you're not really getting the interesting sort of liveliness of old cartoons. You're just sort of recycling it to the point where it's sort of stiff and unlikable.
Yeah, like, that's the reason that I really dislike most newer incarnations of Tom and Jerry.
Yeah.
Because they're like, Scooby-Doo is a weird case, because occasionally, like, people will try to go back to what old Scooby-Doo was like as a joke. And I think it's the reason I didn't like that one Scooby-Doo series, What's New Scooby-Doo?
Yeah.
But like Mystery Inc., there's so many different ways to do Scooby-Doo that I think a lot of series have actually done it pretty good. But Tom and Jerry is always just a slave to what Tom and Jerry was in the 40s. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's never, and it's like I'm saying, you have so many creative, interesting animators out now, they could do something interesting with it. But, so it's like you're neither capturing what was interesting about those old shorts, nor are you getting something new. So it's like, it feels like you're kind of watching like a mummified husk just wander around.
You know what's a good example?
What?
The Looney Tunes show. And I'll admit it wasn't the best show, but actually I really liked the Looney Tunes show. But a lot of old school Looney Tune fans hated it.
I liked it because it was something different.
I think they're just mad because it's different, and that it kind of fills my heart with joy.
Are you mad? You're mad? I'm so happy that you're mad. Anyway, what were we talking about? We're talking about creepy, asshole-ish animation people.
And people's, like, DA phases. I think mine was like a combination of trying to be the old school cartoon guy and trying to be a weeaboo.
That's such a, well, at least it kind of leads to sort of an interesting crossbreeding of styles.
You know who has a really cool style? Who's one of my favorite artists on DA?
Who?
Zeo Arts.
Zeo Arts? I haven't seen that person.
Oh, you don't follow that person?
I'm trying to think if I do.
They do a lot of, like, character reimaginings.
Let me see.
He just posted a Zelda one just recently.
Ah. Oh, hey, this is pretty cool. The Zelda Cambo? Oh, that's pretty cool.
I wish I could find his really cool... He's got a cool Johnny Quest 63.
Ah.
Joanna Quest.
Joanne Quest. Let me see if I could find it. Or maybe it's in one of his folders. Jesus?
Yes, he has a really cool Jesus character.
Does he turn into a dragon, or is that like, golden calf?
This guy is awesome. Promote the hell out of him.
Alright, we're promoting this guy called Zeo Arts.
ZeoArts.deviantart.com.co.uk.edu
.org. .net. .Canada.
Did you ever used to watch those old PBS shows?
Which ones?
Like any of them.
Oh, I watch all of them.
Like Dragon Tales used to have like any of them. Like they would have at the end they'd be like, for more information go to http://www.pbs.com/dragontales.org.
Ah, yes, the good old days of Web.0.
Exactly. You have to go to www.
Plastickat.
.net. Geocities.
Angelfire. I remember there was technically a third one, but nobody used it.
I know which one you're talking about, too.
Well, technically, I don't remember the name, so maybe you can mention it.
Dave Davidson's free website.
Oh, God.
.com.
Yeah. Alright. So we're talking about styles. I think I had the phase of trying to be old school cartoon or something.
You had, and it's still going on, but I think you really come around to perfecting it. The trippy old school cartoons. Like, not just old school cartoons, like old school cartoons of like, on acid.
Yeah, that's kind of style I like because it kind of is freeform and sort of flexible. That's what I like to go for in my style. which I need to sort of employ more. I need to start doing more studies of things so I can be able to just draw an old thing.
And I like, because regular show came around, and regular shows, I love regular show, but it has a character that's high five ghost, that's a ghost. And it just always makes me think of your art, because for some reason in all your comics there's one character who's just a ghost, but part of his storyline is not that he's a ghost, he just is a ghost.
Well, here's the thing. I have technically I have a saying. I don't have a name for it at the moment, where it's basically a giant dungeon. Like, it's basically a continent that's basically just built upon a giant dungeon that's the size of a continent. And basically the saying's like, several thousand years since the basic, RPG saying, so all the characters sort of live in this weird modern, say, in like a suburb. And so you have
but inside of a dungeon.
Yeah, inside. No, the dungeon is underground, and all the characters that are above ground are sort of the descendants of the dungeon crawl creatures.
Oh, fuck yeah, that's actually really cool.
And the thing is, I'm still trying to figure out the saying, like, where the human beings relate into it. Like, at the moment, I'm thinking they sort of just live off in a off colony in like some far off mountain or something like that, and they all sort of just were like pushed out by all the creatures emerging from the dungeon.
See, that's really cool.
And in this case, I have sort of two characters that are basically ghosts. One called Ghosts, where basically they're like Pac-Man ghosts and things like that, and they all look like sheets and things like that. And then I have another type, and basically they're just the long dead spirits of things.
You ought to have skeleton warrior type.
Yeah, well, of course you can. No self-respecting RPG doesn't have skeleton warriors.
And then do different classifications, because it's not just one skeleton warrior. In the easy ones, it's blue skeleton warrior.
Blue skeleton warriors, gold skeleton warriors, skeleton classics, jive skeletons, dancing skeletons, singing skeletons, cowboy skeletons.
Skeletons. That's a skeleton.
Yeah. Centipede skeletons, where basically it's a skeleton with a bunch of rib cages, is like a centipede type thing.
Ghost skeleton.
But yeah, so technically, but then I have another classification that looks like a ghost, like Pac-Man ghosts, but they're not. They're called ghosts. Which they're called ghosts, where basically ghosts are kind of like, freeform apparitions where you can just like, if they pass you, it kind of feels like like mist passing through you. Well, a ghost, if you put your hand in it, it feels like you're putting your hand in some sort of gelatin or some sort of slimy, viscous substance.
Cool. And they're gross. I get it.
Yeah.
I just got it.
Yeah, and of course, and they don't know where they come from. They sort of appear.
I just found a stack of my old Archie comics.
Oh, cool.
Woo!
Yeah, you did like a really cool Jughead picture once. I remember it.
I actually was just looking through my gallery and just passed it.
I don't know, like one time, like a year or two back, I just went through and like put a bunch of pictures into like storage because I couldn't look at them anymore. Because they were all like.
My thing is, I won't use. Hold on, I gotta dispute a color thing here. What's orange?
It's a tiger stripe.
It's brown.
It's brown.
It is brown.
It is brown. I swear to God, it's brown. That's really cute.
The wife and I have color disputes because he's colorblind.
Oh, okay.
You would say you're not because you. Oh,
this is brown.
That is brown. That'll look fine. You're gonna start making it now, aren't you?
No, I've got too much of a mess.
Aww. She wants to make a new rug for the new place, and we were disputing whether or not the rug would look good with the colors, because it's tiger striped, and I was like, no, orange won't work, and she's like, I'm pretty sure it's brown, and it turns out it's brown.
Okay.
That was the most boring thing that I had to borrow that I had to disrupt for. I'm sorry. But no, it was super. I'm sorry, it was super important. It was. I was worried.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm in trouble now.
Oh no, Sparky's in trouble.
I'm in trouble. I can't win. Don't get married. She's saying, don't get married to me. God damn it.
You had a shit sex tonight, you blew it.
Oh.
Tonight on the Plastickat sitcom.
Wait. Oh, I'm going through my old gallery now.
Sorry for interrupting everybody.
What did you just send?
I'm looking through my old gallery.
Oh my god! Oh god, 2006.
You want to see cartoony versions of Dragon Ball Z characters?
Oh god. Oh my god. Oh god, I think this was about the point. I think I might have seen this one.
Look at this Vegeta, though.
Wait, Goku. Okay, one second. Goku kinda. Oh my god, he looks like a King of the Hill character.
Look at
I
this.
thought you were keeping me doing something.
Goku looks like what?
He looks like a King of the Hill. I don't know. Just something about it looks so weirdly familiar, like King of the Hill or something.
I drew these back in 2007.
Ah, yes.
Look at my Piccolo's head. I had a phase where I drew Piccolo eyebrows on everybody. Vegeta, though.
Little baby Sparky. It is art.
God damn it.
Maybe I should show you one of my really old ass pieces.
Go for it.
Let me see if I can find one.
This is about to be sharing time. We'll have to put these into the video.
Yeah, I'll have to. Oh, by the way, don't tell George how I made that video for YouTube.
How'd you make it?
Because you know how I made it?
How?
I basically had to use MS Movie Maker and just copy and paste the damn logo like 50 times.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, that's basically what I did.
We'll have to download. I think I'm thinking about trying to get Sony Vegas, and then maybe I can put the videos together.
Well, technically, I have Adobe Premiere, which I could.
Oh.
So I could have done it that way. I just sent you something.
Let me see.
Except I don't know how to use it at the moment, so I need to
I do actually remember this.
Yeah, I need to find some really old shit. Let me see if I can go into scraps and find some really old shit. I need to I'd have to.
Happy messed up turkey eating day. Xmas Monsters is still awesome.
The one I made this year?
Let me see. December 24th, 2013. Oh wow, you know what? I didn't notice it until I just looked and saw the Smorky demon that you drew, but there is some Smorky in that's found its way into your style.
Yeah.
For the better though.
Yeah. Oh god, the coloring on this hurts. I sent you something?
You okay?
Okay, one thing.
Oh, yes. I remember this very well.
I drew that in an in and out.
I think this is one of the first things you ever drew for me.
It's like so old. I found another one. This is gonna hurt. Prepare your eyes. The coloring on this makes me kind of mad.
I love the tree. The tree is growing on the other side of the ground.
This was when I first started using the pen tool in Photoshop.
Hold on, I got something for you.
I'm angry at the dialogue and the plot.
This actually got a favorite like a couple of weeks ago.
Oh,
and it makes me very mad.
Someone favorited something from like 08 of me like just yesterday. Oh my god! Okay, so it's like there's Dimitri Martin, George Carlin, Jim Gaffigan. That doesn't look like him.
It doesn't at all.
Rodney George Carlin looks like him, kinda. Dimitri Martin kinda looks like him, but then Jim Gaffigan, no dude. And then Rodney Dangerfield looks like he's melting. Then there's Mike Birbiglia. I don't think that's what he looks like. And then there's...
You know what's weird?
What?
That is actually really close to what Mike Birbiglia looks like. That's the closest one, and he has the least distinct face of any of these comedians.
And then there's Mitch Hedberg, who kinda looks like him, I guess, except he has like two little anuses for eyes or something. Oh my god, you said someone faved this recently?
Yes.
There's comments in 2011.
Well done.
There's a comment from 2000. Two of them. Oh my god. Okay,
This comment that I made in 2007. I'm working on a follow-up pick. No, I'm not.
I can tell you that. Oh, and here's the Venom pic you sent me with. Does he have a cape?
No, he has his spider symbol on his back is a big physical object.
Oh.
It doesn't make any sense. The other Venom, the second version I did, is even worse.
Okay.
Let me show you.
Okay, let me see if I can find some really old shit from mine. I need to go into let's see.
I need to reevaluate my not deleting stuff policy.
No, you gotta keep this in. Well, it shows improvement. Like, whenever you feel bad or down about yourself, just go look. This is what I used to draw. I have improved. Most of my gallery is in storage right now, so maybe I should, how do I get stuff out of storage? I don't remember.
Pray.
Manage deviation, see if I can find anything in storage. Storage. I got 6 pages of shit in storage. Okay, it seems to be the oldest stuff I have is from '08. Okay, let me see if I can unstore these.
Okay, I'm gonna send you one more. It's my first ever DeviantArt ID picture.
Oh, I had one of those. It was bad.
I was a cool kid.
I like the Kiss t-shirt.
I used to always. That was my thing. I used to always draw myself in a Kiss t-shirt.
I remember that doesn't look anything like you, unless that was what you looked like as a toddler.
And the hairstyle is similar to what I had at that point.
That's hilarious. Sparky's MS Paint phase.
Here's one from just 2 years later, also in MS Paint.
I just love the contrast between the two. It's like, here you just kind of drew yourself as an oboe. Here you kind of look like a orc. With scary zombie eyes. Well, it showed improvement. Let me see if, okay, I've unstored some things, so let's see if I can find any good ones. Because all the ones that were in...
Old woman walking.
There's an old woman in the ceiling? What?
There's an old woman in the ceiling.
I said old woman walking because my knees are giving out on me.
Oh. You need to get robot knees or something. Here's one.
For comparison's sake, I'll send you a recent. There's one of me.
Okay, I just sent you something.
Ah, sweet. It's the robot from the J.J. Abrams movies.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I drew that years before any of his movies came out.
2008.
And man, my hand coloring sucks.
I like this one. This one that you did here. Bring this guy back.
Wait, bring which guy?
The blue guy.
I might. I had to redesign him though, so he's easier to draw. Oh god. Why were all my colors the absolute most saturated, primary colors?
I had a phase where I did that exact same thing though.
No use of tone, no use of variance, just pick the most bright, saturated, bucket-filled color. I also like the fact that when I was using the line tool, I didn't have any sort of use of variation aligned with. Even though that would be the point.
Of using the line tool?
Yeah. Well, use the line tool would mean variation of width and control over the line. Okay, let's see if I can... Oh god, it's just kind of painful. Oh, here's one. I don't know why this one makes me laugh. I think I was some sort of bizarre space between edgy kid and random lol kid.
You know what? You do have a little bit of Jonan Vasquez in here.
Oh,
or Salad Fingers.
I'd be more inclined for Salad Fingers opposed to Jonan Vasquez. God damn it. What was with my drawing of hands back then and heads being completely... And why were all of my eyes circles back then with no pupils or anything?
I like the smile, the give me your soul, dude.
Yeah, nice and ready for Hot Topic. And of course there's the squishy skull. Actually, you know what's really funny? There's another long-running gag that was in my stuff.
What?
There's like about 90, there's like several dozen pieces where it says artist comment to be added later.
Huh.
And it's like, and several, like a decade later, none. God damn.
I like this old Bertato.
Huh?
I like this old Bertato fan art.
Where?
Bertato.
Oh. Let me see. The one drawn in like Flash.
Yes.
Like I'm currently looking at scraps right now. Let me see. Let me go
I'm
find.
I'm looking through your main gallery.
Yeah, I was looking at scraps to see if I could find a really crappy old stuff.
I found this Professor Tingu from 2009.
Oh my god, link it.
Science, bitch.
Oh, hey, here's another thing I drew. I was supposed to fix it. Oh, let me see it. This. Oh god. Back when I started hatching, I didn't know what to do with it. I like how his hoodie came out pink.
I love the logo.
Oh, the science bitch.
Yes.
Oh, and it has I like how when you have old, like when it has the icons in the in the comment section, they look like the oldest fuck icons.
I missed that icon.
And it has my old icon from the comic Gyu.
Geo?
Geo. Oh, I found the Berteo comic. The Berteo picture. One of the few things I've drawn in Flash I've actually liked.
I like your you yokai yourself entry.
What? Let me see.
You drew yourself as a tanuki.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Let me go find it.
The tattoo guy has a girlfriend named Lily.
Tattoo guy?
I'm looking at this I'm gonna link it to you.
Okay.
This has become a podcast of us looking at old art.
Look at old as shit art. Okay, I'm ready. So did you link it?
Or linked it.
Okay, so here's the Yuki self. Oh yeah, I remember that. Oh god. This is so bad looking.
I like that your notes have not changed though. A time-traveling lizard befriends a little girl in Victorian-era England, with a gunslinger monkey for good measures.
Oh god, the Photoshop lines. Why? Okay, I don't know why, but why, I don't understand a lot of the choices in here. Like, why are the buildings in the background thicker?
Like, why are their lines thicker?
Yeah, why are their lines thicker? Well, it's shown that I've improved.
Love your stuff.
And my Tanuki is wearing 2 left shoes. And the dude's wearing 2 left shoes.
And 2 left feet.
Yep. He also has no shoulders. The dude has no shoulders. Old art. Old as fuck art.
Fun on a bun.
I'm trying to remember the context of the contest. I'm trying to remember.
I'm trying to remember what the prize was.
The prize, I think, was either an avatar or a subscription. And of course, I remember not winning.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Well, the other guy that entered was actually a professional cartoonist. It's like I had no chance.
The guy that won, Myth 22, is actually one of my other major awesome homies and an awesome graffiti artist.
I know. Like, well, him winning is, I used to have a Russian hat like that, for real.
Really?
Yeah.
You have a penchant for like crazy hats, don't you?
Hey, I like crazy hats. I like covering my head. Even though I live in Vegas, where it doesn't make any sense. Why are all the giant lines all shaky and wobbly?
Because it's easier to notice all the inconsistencies.
was like, I'm just staring, going, "Oh God, like what? Like was I having a fit while drawing this or something?"
I look at my old Illustrator stuff, and I would, for some reason, decided to use the thickest lines possible on everything.
Well, thick lines kind of add an expressiveness, and I think it was to contrast the anime influence. It's like I'm not anime; I use thick lines. Because you notice that most anime people, they use like really thick, like really thin, delicate lines.
And then, like Western cartoons, use the thickest lines possible.
Yeah. Yeah, but we've improved. Like, look at this latest goddamn piece from Sparky. The Onigao. Or Komish. Okay.
I'm really not happy with how this came out either. I broke her foot.
Oh, you broke her foot?
Yeah.
Well, you can't always win. Sometimes horrible things happen. But I feel weird.
I mean, the colors kind of came out nice on this one.
Yeah, I like the colors. I also like how you did the arms. I think I need to add another piece to the gallery at some point. Because I haven't updated the DeviantArt gallery in a while.
Put up some new stuff.
Yeah, put up some new stuff, except I don't feel like putting up anything. Oh, and here's this comic I did recently in Flash.
Let me see.
It was a comic I did in Flash, and I think I got a very nice critique on Smack Jeeves on a comic I drew in like 5 minutes. Because here's the thing, the borders took the longest to make.
Oh, wow.
And I felt weird that the person who gave me the critique gave me a critique on like a comic I drew in like 5 minutes.
Was it Asia?
It was something Eishiya.
Yep.
They seem to be able to give very good, thoughtful critiques, but I felt weird going, oh, this is a comic drew in 5 minutes with no planning.
I mean, if you were going to get a critique, she'd be the one you'd want it from.
Yeah.
I went to your SJ thread, and I found the Homestar.
Yep. The Homestar?
Well, it's a blob that's blobbing, but it looks like Homestar.
Oh yeah, I remember that. He said,
yeah.
Let me go. I have to find mine, my thread. I need to update it. Okay, so let's see. In my thread has more current stuff like this rabbit animation I drew.
So hungry.
Hey, did you see that they updated?
Who did? Oh, I did. I saw that on April Fool's.
Yeah, it was a full update.
Everybody. I like this head bobbing ghost.
Head bobbing ghost? No, where is it?
It's on the previous page.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I like it too. That was to work with animation smears because I'm trying to animate.
Don't hate. Animate.
Don't hate, animate. Try to animate as hard as you can, even though it makes you bleed.
How many frames is the ghost?
How many frames? I don't remember. I'd have to. Actually, 1 second. I don't remember how many. Let me just put the GIF into. I think it was about 5 frames. I think. Like it was a couple. Because the smears are basically keyframes themselves. I'm trying to remember. Let me open up Photoshop and just put the GIF in there. Why do I have Audacity open?
Why do I not look at your thread more often? Look at this Tanuki suit Mario. This is so cool.
I drew that for my cousin. It was for his birthday. I drew it like a month late.
For Ian.
Ian, yo.
I miss Ian.
Oh, he'll be on eventually. We'll have him on as a guest, and we'll say like, "Hey, Ian, what's your word on this?"
I love Tommy's thread. Look at his ghost. Hold on, I'm gonna show you his ghost.
Okay, let me see if I can open up Photoshop, which takes forever, because Photoshop's a monster.
Photoshop.
You know, you're useful Photoshop, but you're a pain in the ass.
I don't mean to be mean to your old stuff, but you have improved a lot. You are so good.
You've improved a lot too, Sparky. I like when my friends improve. It's so nice to see my friends have improved so much. They've worked so hard. I'm so happy.
Oh, you have like a whole storyboard here.
Yeah, it's no, that's actually thumbnails. Actually, which one are you looking at?
It's a guy. He's at a drawing table or a breakfast table. He's at a drawing table.
Oh, that's probably. Oh, well, it could technically thumbnails for comics could be used to say like a form of yeah, because that's basically what storyboarding is. And what the template I used was in fact could be either used for storyboarding or comic thumbnailing. Because basically that's what I'm trying to get into is to thumbnail as many comics as I can. Where?
You know who your stuff reminds me of a little bit? This dude I follow on Tumblr, Josh Bayer.
He sounds familiar. I'm trying to think.
He does like his comics. He does like old school cartoon characters, but like violent and weird and very surreal.
I think that guy sounds familiar.
But your stuff is more. I like your stuff better. I love the dude. The dude's awesome, but I love your stuff better.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe you have a bias because you're my friend.
I might, but also your stuff's adorable.
Hey, did you see this shark girl I drew?
Yes.
What did you think?
I love the shark girl.
I might.
The one that's saying.
Yeah. I might need to make her a character in something.
Do it. I'm gonna draw a fan art of her.
Okay. That'd be cool. I like fan art. Right. Oh, you mean the storyboard? You mean this blue one here? Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, it could be a storyboard, but it's mostly supposed to be a thumbnail for comics. I think it looks like a storyboard because it's overly consistent with the 6-panel grid.
The storyboards you use and everything.
Huh?
It looks good though.
I need to vary my panel use because I'm kind of too derivative of using
the grids.
Well, I don't know. It's kind of weird for me because like that's why I would get into thumbnailing so I could actually break out using the 6-panel sort of just rigid grid. Yeah, but this is actually a pretty good template I found where basically it has where you can write down notes for the comics, like say panel, page 1, you write down the booger face does this, and things like that. And you can write down dialogue in the notes. But mainly, I'm trying to get to the point where I can use mostly one thing I found that's good for doing thumbnails is to do them really small, and to do them mostly in sort of silhouette.
See, my thumbnails are incomprehensible a little bit, or I always worry that they are.
Well, the thing with thumbnails is that they're mainly just used to sort of get composition down.
Exactly.
That's like the only reason you don't want them, the only time you would want them to be comprehensible if you had someone else working with you that had to work from the thumbnails.
That's why I'm worried, because I made thumbnails for the Monster Girl comic that we're doing, and I was worried they wouldn't be legible.
They're legible. I divide my paper off into 4 different sides, and I do 4 pages, 4 thumbnails for 4 pages at once.
I really like how his sash came.
Huh?
Sorry, I'm looking at some of my newer art.
I'm
I do feel better now, having looked at my old gallery.
Well, sometimes you need a refresher. Like, I have actually improved. Like,
except I'm looking at my commission thing that I made, my commission info image that I always use. And they're different, they're essentially different, but I use the same, look at how often I use the similar facial expression.
You mean, which one?
The raised eyebrow.
The DreamWorks one?
Yes.
Did you just fave my red robot?
I did.
God damn it, you know how old that thing is? It's actually a year older than it is.
I love Red Robot.
Yeah, I might need to make a robot character that's red.
I love Lamp.
Lamp? What?
I love Lamp. You seen Anchorman? The movie.
Who's in Anchorman?
Steve Carell, Will Ferrell. That dude whose name I can't ever remember.
I'm actually completely lost, dude.
Anchorman's the movie where Will Ferrell plays an anchorman like in the 70s in San Francisco.
I know, but I'm just asking who you're asking's in it.
Oh, you.
I'm not in it.
No, have you seen it?
I haven't seen it.
Oh. That's where the line comes from. Because Ron Burgundy says, I think I'm in love. And Steve Carell's character is dumb, so he's just saying stuff. So he goes, I love Lamp.
I think I need to see that. Like, that's one of the movies I missed.
It's hilarious in context. It has lost all of its power now that I've had to explain the joke.
Well, that's what.
Go back in time, see it, and then laugh at my hilarious joke.
Sometimes I can't remember. Like, I'll be like, oh, that's funny, and I'm like going, why did I watch this? I think Sparky asked me to watch this for something. But
For your own benefit.
by the way, Sparky, the house ghost thing, that's literally actually a bit of fan art of Smorky. Yeah,
Is it really?
Fan art of animation Smorky did. Smorky is doing a Let's Play series with Lotax, and so this is actually a fan art of one of the animation that Smorky did. Because I like the little demon person.
I love Smorky's little designs.
What are we looking at?
Oh, I don't have his gallery open right now, but I can go open it up.
I'll send you the demon. I think CC might like the demon, but I don't know. I don't know anything.
Oh, that's adorable.
Alright, so.
It's based on other cartoons.
You have like a designer quality to your art.
Yeah?
It really kind of, to me it looks like you go pretty far with your art.
Well, I need to figure out design and things like that more, because mainly my character designs and art, I mainly try to work off of basic and geometrical and sort of strong shapes. Like, in this case, I mostly work off of circles or cones or things like that so I can break them down easily.
I think that's very relatable to people, though. They can easily relate to that more than something hard and complicated and eye drowning. But it works so much because it's not like there's a lot of thought and a lot of art put into it. It's not something you just throw together, because it's not. It's really awesome. I think you're doing amazing.
Aw, thanks.
Oh God!
Oh, you okay?
Yeah, hang it.
She's sore because she's been working so hard these past few days.
Why don't you help her?
I have been helping her. You have to preempt her in order to really help her, though, which is almost impossible. She goes, she will not stop until she's about dead.
One of those.
She's one of those. You're one of those, sweetie.
I'm like that at work too.
She is.
My brother's ladies like that sometimes. But like here, I have a character who's essentially just sort of like a long tube with a rounded top and horns.
Wait, this one is one that I did recently, and I was actually trying. This one was kind of inspired by you.
Oh.
Well, not too recently. I think I did it like a year ago.
I remember that one. I was staring when that looked familiar for some reason. Like, I'm staring, that demon looks familiar. Something about it reminds me of something. And now I know you're ripping me off, Sparky.
Exactly.
Except I can't draw hands that well.
Neither can I.
Well, you know, I've only recently drawn like one hand I really liked. It was like a test hand.
Oh. You gotta do some hand studies. I gotta do some hand studies. I don't do that.
I need to do hand studies. Like the problem with like mouse, one of the problems I was having with mouse was trying to figure out how to draw their hands.
It's impossible.
Like, cause originally...
With the mouse?
Yeah. What?
With the mouse, you have to like go in and that's why I used to update so slowly. Because anything I was doing with the mouse, I had to go in and work it and work it and work it.
Oh, I'm not drawing with a mouse. No, I mean
okay.
The character mouse. From the comic I'm working on.
Then I'm completely lost.
If I was drawing with a mouse, I'd probably be dead by now.
Dead?
Like, you know, because like there are people that, like there's like this one guy who I know who draws with a mouse. Like when I learned that you draw with a mouse, I'm like, so you're going, I'm here drawing with a tablet.
Dad are sobbing on the floor.
But of course, you know, now you're drawing with a tablet. Now your stuff gotten freer. Now you just gotta learn to make your stuff more flexible.
I do.
Which I think I need, like, I think a good thing for you to do would be sort of gestural work. You ever tried that?
I haven't really, and I need to get back into that.
Gestural work where it's like you try to capture the most essential qualities of a figure in the simplest strokes.
Because my stuff has gotten so much stiffer.
Yeah, that's the kind of problem is that when you're trying to refine certain things, you start to sort of lean in the wrong direction. Like your coloring and anatomy is starting to come up really well, and your line work's great, but your stuff's starting to get stiffer.
It is, it's especially noticeable on the Oni girl thing you did.
Yeah, like the physique and everything is really nice. It's just that the she sort of lacks a certain
dynamicism.
So, I don't know, gestural work and things like that, which I need to start doing because my characters are stiff too, which I really don't like. Because that's why I work in a simpler, more shape-based style, is to get a sort of dynamic movement to it.
Look at how many similar poses I do of just like.
Dude, if you go through my gallery, everything is facing to the left.
I don't know how to say this, but I'm looking at my gallery right now. Most of these are facing to the left, and there's a couple that are facing to the right, but for the most part, it's either facing to the left or head on.
What?
That's what happens.
It's true. I can't break it though. I can. I just need to work at it.
Oh, what did you just?
I was hoping I did this a couple of months ago, hoping it would bring more people. This was one of those where I was like, I'll do fan art and get a bunch of fans.
Well, if you're too blatant, it doesn't work. I don't know. I really liked your take on this character.
I want to do the rest of them, but I haven't had time. And also, I don't want to become I like ponies, but I don't want to become one of those pony guys.
Well, you won't become one of those pony guys. You're not a creep. You're not a creep.
My wife laughed because she knows the truth.
Well, you're not a gross creep. Okay, there's gross creep, and then there's creep, and then there's like, oh fuck you, get the fuck out of my face.
Am I a gross creep?
Well, no, you're a likable gross creep. Like, I
Sweet.
like, it's like bugs are gross, but they're awesome. Look at that slimy thing crawling along. It's amazing.
That's a great name for a song. Bugs are gross, but they're awesome.
I just linked you something that might...
Cece says they're just gross.
Bugs are...
Oh, I remember this. I'm sad that Smackcast is gone.
We hardly knew ye, Smackcast. Rock on.
I really liked working on this too.
I liked it. I was like going, ooh, a podcast, or something. And there's another. What did Demon Trance? Oh yeah, I remember that.
I'll fave whatever I want.
Well, at least it's more recent. Because you know what was one of my most favorited things at one point?
What?
A Invader Zim looking dog, like I drew on an index card. It had like 50 favorites.
Did people think it was actually the dog from it was actually Gur?
No, it wasn't. It was more like a sausage dog with like Jonah Basquiat's eyes.
Oh.
And so many people faked it. I'm like sitting there going, "Oh God, please don't do that."
Some years ago, Christina did a Lord of the Flies fan art.
Yeah.
And so she can always tell every year when high schoolers are starting to read the book, because she'll get a slew of faves on it.
Oh my God. I just found my first image I drew in Manga Studio.
I like the halftones.
The what?
Gee, what a douchebag!
I need to work on my hand layering.
I actually like how this
Alright,
came
let's
out.
see. Welcome to the cast where we quietly talk about our art. Oh yeah, I remember this. I like the slime, the way it kind of goes down.
Kind of globby.
Glabby girl.
Been like it when you really glob it on.
I don't know, I tried drawing a slime girl the other day, but then I realized I can either draw slime, or I can draw slime, but I can't draw girls. Every time I try to draw a female figure, I always feel bad. Like, this is bad and I should feel bad.
I've recently hit a point where it's become easier for me to draw girls than dudes.
Well, that's what happens.
Trying to fix it.
Here's something old as fuck I drew from 012.
The pool level of writing you've displayed here a major disappointment.
Huh?
I find your lack of proper wizards and the pool level of writing you've displayed here a major disappointment.
Oh yeah, you know what this is? Okay, first of all, this is technically a test of a font I created. That's a font I made.
Oh, yeah. You made it? I like it.
I think so. Maybe that might be it. I don't know. And also, this is actually a reference to something that happened, where someone was in the forums complaining about someone who made a journal post that someone did not like, that someone was complaining about another person did not like fantasy. And was asking the complaints forum to attack him.
That's ridiculous.
And this is what the type of person said that, fantasy fiction, fantasy is the best, is the greatest, genre because it's the most creative because it has magic.
But I like science fiction in it.
Well, it's like, I'm saying, well, the most creative genre is depending on how creative you are with it.
That's true.
Like, what about magic realism, where you can just make any old situation feel weird?
And you can make that argument for science fiction, too, because you'd be like, it's the most creative because it has robots.
It has robots, and it has mutant aliens from space. Horror has werewolves and disgusting, slimy things.
Romance has Twilight. Romance has, but, like, romance stories, too. Like, there's no just static, like, static romance has something that it has one theme in common, but, like, romance can be in space or with vampires.
Or, like as Kindle has shown, with werewolves, minotaurs. No, that's erotic fantasy.
Yeah. I was about to say, I like science friction. I think that, anime is the best.
Shut up, you weeboo. It's nothing compared to my Tom and Jerry.
No. If you look at Yoshiaki Samazagakaka, as it's known in Japan, Glorious Nippon.
It's nothing compared to I can't remember any of the animators' names.
Tex Avery.
Which I think he would be upset at the fans he has nowadays.
Yes.
Fucking nerds, get the fuck out of here.
Because I love, like, one of my all-time favorite animation people is Chuck Jones. I love Chuck Jones cartoons. I love Looney Tunes, and I love Tom and Jerry.
You can love them, but just don't be weirdly and creepily obsessed with them. Learn from them, but don't make it your religion.
Like, people complain about bronies, but the type of people who become bronies, I feel like, are the same type of people who have the weird, like, it's almost fetishized love of classic cartoons.
Well, that's the thing. It's sort of this weird male movement where they make it their whole identity.
Exactly. Like, yeah, you can dig ponies. Like,
you can dig anything, just don't be a weird creep about it. Or no, you can be a weird creep, but not be a weird asshole creep.
Well,
don't follow 8-year-old little girls wearing My Little Pony t-shirts and ask if they're Fluttershy or Twilight Sparkle or...
Exactly.
Yeah, don't do that.
And even worse, the worst one for me, well, I guess that's bad. It's not necessarily worse, but it annoys me more than it angers me. But it's when they act like they're the true fans, and that the little girls wearing the My Little Pony shirt are just plebes.
I just want to punch them.
I'm like, no, that's a product for them.
The product for little girls, you weird creeps.
You can't take it away from them.
I want to punch them in the face.
Like, they're unwilling to share it. They want it to be theirs.
It's mine. It's mine. No, it's for a little girl, you weird creep. Go home and think about what you did. Go home and sit in a corner. Okay, enough about weird, creepy men that cons that follow little girls.
Enough of that. Do you follow that Tumblr Weeaboo Stories? Do you follow that Tumblr Weeaboo Stories or Weeaboo Horror Stories? I think
I've seen it a couple times, but I haven't looked at it recently.
Man, people are creepy at convention.
Like, by the way, did I show you that video I found at one cartoonist we found?
No.
Okay, god damn it. Let me find 1 second. The dude who we found his kickstart.
Oh,
let me see if I can find Sunnyvale Stories, where the guy I told you, Sunnyvale Stories, where he's doing basically a weird comic where all the cats are like cyclopean because of style, and he apparently has a bubblegum fetish.
Yeah. And they're not cyclopean on purpose. He's just not.
It's like this weird inbred Sonic style. It's like he found Sonic, grocery store comics, and nothing else.
I love that comic where Sonic's eyes are pink, and then it turns out it's Kirby.
that messed me up. Let me see. Of course, I found a video where I said that his most of his art, like he has pinup art, where it's like he draws deer women blowing bubblegum bubbles. And I found a YouTube video of him, but I don't remember where it is. Yeah, but so there's that guy, and he wanted $1,800 for his project.
Did he make $7?
$7 from 3 backers.
He did worse than Gunterman.
Yeah, Gunterman, at least he made $35. Oh god, the colors on this one, in this picture. Okay, I feel bad now. But apparently the guy's like one of those weird stalker types, where if you grab, like he'll hand out leaflets at cons. Like say, have a leaflet. Oh, okay. Like, this is interesting, at least. And he won't leave you alone.
Oh.
One of those guys. Like, this guy has been following me for 3 days and won't leave me alone. Type guy.
I know the exact guy.
Huh?
I know the exact guy.
Oh, yeah? Have you had one of those?
No, but I'm just very familiar.
I had a weird guy that was stalking my gallery for a few days. This was a couple of years back. You know how you can set your account so it shows that if you're online or not? Back in the day?
Yeah.
You wanna know why I have mine as invisible?
Because that guy?
That guy. Like, years ago, like, I was going around, I was looking at this page, and you know how some pages can have it so that you can see who went to your page? I was walking around, and I went to this guy's page, and his entire page is just filled with his, like, everything devoted to his weird dodgeball comic. His weird, like, okay, you know how this guy, the Sunnyville guy, how his art is? This dude's art is worse.
Holy crap.
It's Chris Chan level. I'm serious.
Gotta share that link.
I don't remember, though.
Damn it.
Dodge. How do you spell Dodge? As in ball.
Dodge.
Okay. Because I can't spell. Let me see if I can find it. It was so weird. I need to look up this guy. I would have to look back through my comments, and this was like 5 years ago or something. This was like, it was weird, because he had this entire gallery full of dodgeball comics. He had a club devoted to it. It was like a brother and sister team. And I think I found it? No, this might be fan art. I don't know. And he had an entire club to it, and he kept on asking me to join his club.
Oh, damn.
Like, hey, hi, thank you for looking at my gallery. Will you fave some of my stuff and join my club? Excuse me?
Yeah, I always hate those dudes.
Excuse me? No. If I
have, the reason I don't get on AIM anymore, AOL Instant Messenger, is because I had a dude who got real stalkery like that.
Oh.
He would want to ice scribble every day.
Oh. That guy?
Exactly.
Yeah. But so this guy just kept on, and so I just basically, from that day forth, had my thing hidden. I'm trying to find,
Yeah, Christina does not put up with that. She doesn't go invisible. She doesn't run from anybody. She's like, you need to go fuck yourself.
Well, I didn't, I would feel bad doing it, because this guy kind of looked like he had problems. He kind of looked like Rob Liefeld, kind of.
That kind of shit here, you shouldn't just prevent yourself from using something you enjoy doing just for that kind of behavior. They need to be told fuck no, or else they're going to believe that they can continue to behave like that. And that is not.
Well, this was years ago, so I don't even know if the guy's still alive anymore. He could be dead. Either that, or he might mutate into something else. Like, I've seats being human, now I'm a dodgeball. Yeah, but so I can't. I had to look through all my like thousands of comments to find it. So I don't know. I think he watched me at some point, so maybe I'll find him there. It was weird. Let's see if I can. Oh god, because like I think this was back in like 2010, or not, whatever you would call that year, 2010 or 2008. I don't remember. Are you still there?
I didn't even notice.
Sorry, I'm trying to ask him questions and I don't want to interrupt you guys, but
I'm trying to.
That is too much attention on a knuckle, baby.
I'm drawing. I'm drawing right now, and I've zoomed in at 6,400%, and I'm doing needless lines on this knuckle that nobody can even see.
Well, the Inquire guy was talking about that.
He probably does even crazier than I
But he
do.
was talking about how he used to do everything really small, and then he would zoom in just put on this detail that when it was saved and put up, that it would not be noticeable. And, what's really funny? There's some
What's
artists
that?
that'll put up their stuff in such high res, but you can't see any of it. Like, you ever see like a high res picture where it's so big it just takes up the entire screen when you click it bigger?
Oh yeah, like
It's like that's print quality.
yeah, like you didn't have to post it at that high resolution. Yeah. Actually, this thing I'm working on is coming out pretty nice. I like the perspective.
Can you send me a screen cap or something?
Yeah.
Yay! I get to be the first to view Sparky's cool art.
Woo! Well, technically, the guy that commissioned it has already seen at least kind of up to this point. I just plugged my tablet in.
Okay. Anyway. Oh, by the way, do you want me to show you how you use Open Broadcaster?
Yes.
What day you want me to do that?
Tomorrow?
Yeah,
Probably tomorrow night because it's Easter. So you probably have plans tomorrow.
Okay, like what time would be good? Like I'm off all this week.
Okay. I'm usually off in the afternoon, but I'll probably be busy with house stuff. But I'll let you know what's up.
Text me on I'm by the phone all the time.
Okay.
But so welcome to the podcast where I tell Sparky how to use Open Broadcaster to pick Arto because Stream is annoying.
He's going to show me how to use Open Broadcaster.
Oh, cool.
Because I found it to be a much better system than the Livestream Procaster, and it's less of a slog on my system.
And it didn't, because when I do live stream, like my computer is screaming at me.
That's why you need to use Procaster and use Pick Arto instead of Livestream.
It always worries me too. It never slows down or acts funny, but my fan will start going, and so all I can hear is bzzz.
Yeah, mine does too. And literally, but here's the thing: like when I'm trying to draw, my computer, literally, I'll start having horrifying lag trying to draw. And of course, then I can't have anything open. I'm gonna go look this up on Google. It's sorry, you can't have anything. You can't have more than say. So I couldn't have anything I couldn't have Skype open to talk to people. It's headless. I like the perspective on the arm. I like
yeah, it's headless.
Foreshortening.
So, but I'll fix him up, get them all. Boingo to go.
Yeah, Boingo.
Boingo.
Have you guys thought about doing a Patreon for yourselves?
Say
Patreon.
What? Does it do what?
A Patreon. You know, a Patreon site.
Yeah. What was the question? What about Patreon?
Have you guys thought about doing it so you can support yourselves as artists?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good thing for you guys. Because I'm thinking about... Because George is going to set up a Patreon for the comics that me, Ian, and Danielle are going to be doing. And I might set up a Patreon for the podcast when we get that up.
That would be really good.
So we could things say, pay you for your time, pay me for my time, and maybe I could use a little bit to get a slightly better mic.
See, I feel bad, because I have a bomb-ass mic, and I hardly use it anymore.
What are you using right now?
No, I'm using it right now. That's why I'm glad that we're doing the podcast, because before the podcast, I wasn't. I was using it for the Smack G's podcast.
Well, right.
But before the podcast, I was barely
me
using
right here, I'm kind of a dope. I have a $30 mic from 5 years ago. Yeah.
Oh, really? You want to know another reason I feel bad? Guess how much my microphone cost? $160.
Well, that at least if it's good, that's good.
It looks like a studio microphone.
Well, so hopefully I can save up either later or if we create a Patreon, I can save up and get like a nicer mic.
Well, your audio sounds really good.
That's because I try to do everything I can to make it sound good. Like right now, I have a homemade pop filter, which is essentially an embroidery loop with stockings on it.
Oh man, I was about to say I don't have a pop filter. I used to just put a sock over it, but I've stopped even doing that.
Well,
that's why the mic is really nice, but my audio quality is not that great because there's echo. It's going to be even worse after we move. I have to figure out some way to start soundproofing.
Here's a quick way to do it. You can find like a mattress and you put it behind yourself.
Oh yeah. Well, because the room I'm about to start recording in, it's a bedroom that's a converted garage. This will be in a couple of weeks though.
Well, one thing you could do is either put like a mattress behind directly to yourself, or figure out how to put some egg crates up to sort of cushion the echo.
That's probably what we're going to do. Christina works at a fabrics and crafts store. And they have like a foam that's kind of what they use for studio foam.
Well,
so we're gonna put up some of that.
That'll work. One of the reasons why my audio sounds good is that I try everything I can in my power to get it to work. So like the pop filter, good settings. Also, I do a trick in Audacity where if you want to take out any sort of sounds in the background, like say your computer or clicking. What you do is you select a few minutes of just empty, without any talking or anything like that in the audio. You select a bit of that, go into noise removal, get noise profile, and select the rest of the audio and say remove noise. So, like, it'll take out, like, whirrings of fans, clicking, breathing, things like that.
You have to explain. Well, you grab a piece of like just no talking,
just
right?
like empty air. So it's just you get like everything that's in the background.
And then you go to settings.
Go to settings. You have Audacity.
Yes.
Okay. So in settings, there's open up Audacity, you bastard. In Audacity, there's a.
Will, I'm sorry.
No, I'm talking to Audacity.
Okay.
You go into Audacity, and there's a thing called noise removal. So, like, say if I record it myself, like I'm doing right now, like. Blah, 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 da, 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 da. And then you let, say, a few minutes of silence go by. Like that.
And then hit noise removal.
And then you hit actually what you do is you go select some of the audio. Go into, my mic's really quiet. Shit. It's been quiet the entire time. Go into noise removal, get noise profile, and then select the rest of the audio. And then click noise removal, and then you hit OK. And you have settings. And it goes, and it removes it, and you get sort of a cleaner audio sound.
Okay. Shit, I didn't even know about that.
I learned it from some guy who does those creepypasta readings.
Mr. Creepypasta?
No, someone else he knows, and I've stopped following that guy.
I literally because I like the creepypastas, but I can't get behind that guy's voice.
Well, one, I can't get behind his voice in reading. He has not improved at all in reading or editing. 2, he's kind of a dick.
Is he really?
You know what happened? There was a guy who was writing creepypastas that was relatively loved and well known, called Slime Beast, and he put out some like the most popular recent ones. And then Mr. Creepypasta produced videos of them, but without Mr. Slime Beast's permission. So he was making money off of content he did not have permission to, make content from, and so.
So did he take him down?
Well, first he took him down, but then he kept on trying to attack Slime Beast, saying that he'll sue him for lost revenue or something like that. And then Slime Beast basically retorted back going, "You can't sue me. That's my content. You were in the wrong." And of course, Creepypasta apparently had legal counseling. You know whose legal counseling was? His 20-year-old girlfriend, who wasn't even a business owner. She wouldn't even have, she didn't even have the legal know-how of a business owner. She was just some girl who was vaguely reading through the YouTube rights thing. Well, it's like, so Mr. Creepypasta essentially, and his fans start attacking Slime Beast. Saying, "What? You horrible greedy bastard, all you care about is money." It's like...
The only ones I listen to from him are the Pokemon ones.
I don't really like Pokemon creepypastas.
No?
I don't know, gaming creepypastas don't really get, it's like I had to get, like, I'm a horror guy, and I'm very picky when it comes to my horror. Like,
Oh.
like I'm like unless it like I don't like unless it's something that entertains me or actually scares me. Like the creepypasta based on video games don't work for me because most of them are just sort of like weird third person, like fan fiction. It's like you're watching a guy watch fan fiction.
I can understand
Like
that.
most of the stuff, like the one that I really liked was one called Normal Porn for Normal People, because it was very much. You ever see that one? I'll have to read it to you. But basically, what happens is a guy finds a site which looks like a weird eugenics site, and it features all sorts of weird, fucked up videos, but not in the normal way. Like they're also just bizarre, abstract. It's kind of like how in the original Japanese, The Ring, the video is actually kind of like a David Lynch film. So it's kind of like it. So the Normal Porn for Normal People is sort of like a David Lynchian sort of approach to horror. As opposed to like, here's a spooky story about a kid who finds a haunted video game, which makes me think of a Goosebumps book, which I would.
Put in the Goosebumps like do.
Yeah, I would like that, but as opposed to like, and then the player character lost all his limbs and he was floating around.
Yeah. You're right, because most of the video game creepypasta just kind of describes something that's just a weird glitch.
Well, the problem with, I think, creepypasta and horror in general for early, like writers is that they get too descriptive. So you're just sort of reading, like, endless meandering text, as opposed to something that actually sets a legitimate atmosphere. And of course, they're trying to be too, I don't know, they don't really have good horror influences, I gotta say. So it's like, ooh, it's spooky because there's blood and guts. I'm like, I feel like I'm at the butcher shop.
Yeah, or they'll get like,
Or
they'll get too dependent on describing like an otherworldly smile.
well, it's like not a very good description. It's like an otherworldly smile. That could be anything. Like my brother said, like with acting, like he says that you can't just write, like when you're writing, you can't just say he spoke in a dark tone. That could only work as a written piece of dialogue for someone to speak. Like if Tom Waits said he spoke in a dark tone, Tom Waits can like make that line work. You have to describe it in a way that can like bring an image in the reader's mind. Like Terry Pratchett described, say, Death's voice like I'm trying to remember. It sounds like Death's voice is described as cracking marble on it's like marble being cracked on stone floors.
Oh,
so
cool.
like at the like my description of things, like I would describe something as the wall started collapsing in on itself. Like one story I'm trying to figure out how to describe like one story I had a description like I'm trying to remember, I can't remember, but it was like I was trying to describe the idea of, say, a house suddenly turning into flesh.
Oh, how? Sorry, I got distracted. I was looking at a thing. That makes. See, I'm not good at stuff like that either. That's why I always do comics. Like I would do for something like that, I would have to do it visually.
For me, I kind of like horror comics differently than my written work. Like I like my written work. I kind of like the ability to create something that would not be able to be illustrated, like sort of a complete minefield.
Like Lovecraft.
Yeah, Lovecraft. Well, with fiction versus, like, say, in comics, you can almost get that sort of unattainable image somewhat. Versus, say, like in movies, you have to sort of approach horror differently than a book. Like in a movie, you can show a very visceral, explicit image, but very quickly. So it kind of becomes more what's that called? Where subliminal. You make the more implicit, disgusting sort of detailed images more subliminal. While, say, it's okay, here's the thing. In horror, you have to have the ability to obscure and mislead the audience.
And, Christina is a haunted house director. Yeah.
I've tried auditioning for haunted houses.
They make you audition?
Yeah, they literally make you audition to become a character.
Is it for, like, would you get paid?
Yeah, where you get paid.
I want to stop you real quick. Christina, you have to call all the kids characters now. That's so cool.
That's actually an actual piece of jargon for scare houses.
I didn't know that. The one that we have in town, we have Amarillo Haunts, and I don't know about Scaregrounds, But the one that she's director of there's the youth center, Amarillo Activity Youth Center.
Well, I think that's more of like an independent volunteer thing.
It's exactly what it is. All of the actors are like Amarillo youth. They're like teenagers and young adults.
Well,
and
the
stuff
one
like
I was
that.
auditioning for is actually a professional long-running one in my town called Freakling Brothers, which are they've actually done a lot of innovations for haunted houses and horror houses, where they were the first guys to actually start making haunted houses in trailers to be able to move them easier.
Oh my god! They have something like that in Lubbock.
Huh? What?
You're making
Lubbock is 2-hour drive from us.
you're making my wife go crazy here
What?
with all of this because she knows I have no idea what you're talking about with Freakling Brothers, but she's all like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, Freakling Brothers is the one I've auditioned like 4 times. I've never gotten gotten in.
New plan. This October, you come here and be in this haunted
Okay,
house.
I'll do that.
Problem solved.
Yeah, but so like a haunted house for me, like I love Halloween and horror because like I'm always constantly trying to think of what would be scary. Like like one of the things like I kind of find is fun to be like try to make scary is to make something more abstract scary. Like say one story I had was just the idea that this house gets invaded by a hallway that shouldn't be there. Where basically next to the bathroom has a hallway that would be extended out into the street.
That is actually kind of scary to me.
And apparently, and as the day goes on, you can, when you're underneath it, you hear buzzing. And if you stare at it too long, you start to feel like disoriented.
See, that's scary to me because of like the kind of element of paranoia about how something is, but how it shouldn't be that way.
Well, that's the thing with horror. That's the thing. It's that you're trying to scare people with, like, you need to scare people by either disorienting them, throwing them into a situation that they can't control, or completely losing them into another world. Like, you have left your comfortable suburban house and now you're currently in a pit of despair and horror.
Exactly.
And in this case, of course, the dumb thing is that the story is actually expanded on into its own setting.
Yeah, that's the thing with a lot of these, because there are a lot of haunts in our area, and a lot of them just lack any ability to kind of develop that atmosphere. Because they have it's a bunch of kids in clown makeup, and then they'll do like
Screams and jump scares.
Yeah, jump scares.
The thing with jump scares is you have to kind of ration them and use them as sort of a quick burst of fear. You can't rely on them. That's the thing I found. The other thing I find with the hallway story actually started evolving into its own sort of, it kind of evolved from just a mere sort of regular horror story where it actually goes from being sort of a ghost story in its own way to its sort of a cosmic horror story. Where the hallway, what it really is revealed that it's a much smaller fragment of something larger. Which, I always kind of like that in horror stories where it sort of reveals that there's actually a giant ecosystem of scary things.
Yes, things that are incomprehensible, that you wouldn't have even thought that you needed to be afraid of.
Like, I kind of like the idea, like, in a lot of my horror stories, there's also sort of this uncomfortable, sort of resigned to the horror that some of the characters will have. Where they're aware of it, but they can't really bring themselves to even be scared anymore. Like, in one story I had the idea for basically, this town that every night that you have to basically stay indoors because this army of strange children in paper bags invade the town. And no one knows where they're from, all they know is they come from the hills, and no one knows where they go during the day. And they're not presented like as ghosts or anything, they're basically just sort of strange apparitions. Like, they could be mutants, they could be lost tribe of kids, or they could just be a mass hallucination.
Huh.
I love stories like that.
Huh?
Don't know what. There's just no knowing.
Christina loves stories like that.
I like where the horror is less like a explainable parable sort, where it's more like just a encounter with some sort of stranger system of being, where it's like a more like where it's like Lovecraft. A lot of his stories kind of like hinged on the idea that you're learning that your place in the universe and that the universe itself is less functions less like you actually thought it did.
Yeah, that's the thing about that they say about Lovecraft, is that it's this realization that kind of God doesn't love you as much as you think.
Well, even that, God doesn't even know that you exist. It's less about that. It's less that God doesn't love you. Well, the kind of weirdly comforting thing in Lovecraft is that the universe is neutral on your existence as a whole, which could be comforting. I would find the idea that finding out that there is a plan and there's something in control, and that would scare me.
That does terrify me. You know what type of stories scare me? Like Truman Show, Philip K. Dick, Adjustment Bureau type stories.
I love those.
Those, they terrify me. When I was a kid, I actually had a running fear that there was some secret individual who was tired of my existence and was trying to kill me. And this got really annoying for my mom. I used to, like, if I brushed my teeth and I felt like the toothpaste suddenly tasted different, I would spit it out and be all like, Mom, don't use the toothpaste, it's poison.
See, that's something that would scare me more. Let's say, like, you ever read Jeff the Killer?
Yeah.
That doesn't scare me. Like, say, serial killers can be scary because it's sort of an odd, their ideas and methodologies and thinking are scary, but not the, oh, I'm a bloody killer sort of thing. But just the idea that, something is out there and it's a vast thing that's not neutral towards you and in fact has a actual plan and motive against you.
Yeah, because that's what you don't want to find out.
Like, I just like the idea that, if the universe has no plan or function for you, that's a good thing, because now you can actually be wholly, your responsibility for your existence is up to you, not some weird, unfaceless thing. I gotta go. My parents are hungry. I gotta go feed my parents.
That's okay. We gotta go move some stuff. So I think we can call this a good to go on the cast.
All right. Okay. I gotta go put some actual pants on as opposed to pajama pants.
Woo!
All right. My dad says hi, and welcome. This has been a cast where we ramble about something other than Captain America.
Woo!
This is going to be 2 hours. I'm going to have to edit all this. God damn it.
Good night, everybody.
This is cast number 2. Signing out. 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 2. Signing out.